Samsung have been pushing the limits of hardware with each of their phone release, but recently Apple launched the A7 chip on the iPhone 5s with a 64-bit processor. So now following this lead, Samsung have been rumored to include a 64-bit processor in the next Galaxy series, that is the Samsung Galaxy S5. Hi guys, this is Seth from Android Techification, and in this video I'll be talking to you more about the 64-bit processor, its necessity and much more. See, first I'm going to explain it to you in a geeky way and then in English. So here goes the geeky way. In computer architecture, 64-bit computing is the use of processors that have data path widths, integer size and memory address widths of 64 bits. Also, 64-bit CPU and ALU architecture are those based on registers, address buses and data buses of that size. A processor with a 64-bit memory address can directly access 2 to the power of 64 bytes of byte addressable memory. A 64-bit computer architecture generally has integer and addressing registers that are 64 bits wide, allowing direct support for 64-bit data types and addresses. In English, basically a 64-bit processor is nothing but 64 bits of data gets processed in one clock cycle, that's all. As I said earlier, in a 64-bit processor, 64 bits of data gets processed in one processor clock, whereas in a 32-bit processor, 32 bits of data gets processed in one processor clock. Also, another important difference is that the maximum amount of memory supported. In a 32-bit processor, the maximum amount of memory support is around 3 to 4 GB, whereas in a 64-bit processor, it supports that amount memory that amounts more than 4 GB. And one more thing is, the graphic games, the graphic programs and games, it doesn't benefit much, if at all, from shifting to a 64-bit processor. Yeah, definitely, if the program itself is in 64-bit, then you need a 64-bit processor, but otherwise all 32-bit programs can run on a 32-bit processor. No program running on a 32-bit processor without a lot of fuzzing require more than 4 GB of RAM. However, it can be a little bit problematic if you're handling large sets of data or extremely complex graphics. Such programs tend to be rarely used on smartphones or tablets because it's used on desktops, personal computers and laptops and server computers as well. So no. But it certainly boosts the performance of the phone. Finally, I feel that in this smartphone market, it is really important to introduce something new to entice the customers towards their phone. And after the 2 GHz processors, octa-core processors and the 3 GB RAM, this is a positive step in making the smartphone the one and only computing device. So this is Seth from Android Techification. Like my videos, subscribe to my channel. Signing off until next time.